Hello, good evening. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good
Good evening,
evening,
sir.
everybody. My name is Omololu Shoyombo. I'm a professor of sociology in the Department of Sociology, University of Lagos. So welcome to our class, SOC 101, Introduction to Sociology. HOD, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Thank you for setting us up and starting us.
You're welcome, sir.
So this is the class for the ICE students. So you're welcome to the class. So actually, should we continue or do you want to do some introduction?
Yeah, Prof, I think we should continue. But
Yes.
since you have talked about introduction, maybe I should just welcome the students to the course, Sociology, Introduction to Sociology. We're expecting far more than the number we're getting. So I'll just appeal to the students to talk to other members of the class. I suspect that the thinking is that lectures have not started. So please talk to yourselves. Lectures have started, and there is a minimum percentage in terms of attendance. If you don't have 65% of attendance, you cannot write the exam. So please talk to other students. Lectures have started, and those taking this course are very senior people. Professor Shoyombo, who is teaching us today, is a foremost professor of sociology in the department, a very senior person. So I hope the students appreciate this rare privilege that they have to be interacting with very senior academic members of staff in the university. So I'll hand over to Professor Sheyombo. And Prof, I want to thank you very much for your commitments to this. Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you very much, HOD. So once again, our dear students, you're welcome. Introduction to Sociology. Let me just start by assuring you that sociology is a very interesting course. Personally, I like to describe sociology as the queen of the social sciences. In fact, queen of all disciplines. Because since we are all human beings and in all our interactions, we relate with human beings. So the knowledge of sociology will assist us in this regard. Our class for today will be divided into 4 sections. The first section will deal with issues about definition and scope of sociology. So students will be wondering, what is sociology? What topics are we likely to encounter in the course of studying sociology? So we'll answer that question in the first section. Then the next section will discuss the relationship between sociology and other social science subjects. Sociology is related to other social science subjects, so the similarities and the differences between them, we'll discuss them with us. So we can differentiate between sociology, psychology, anthropology, economics, political science, and so on. The third section of our class today will deal with historical context of sociology, the emergence of sociology. the background to the emergence of sociology, the Industrial Revolution, the French Revolution, the political revolution in Europe, and how those conditions influence the emergence of sociology as a discipline. And then the fourth section, which will round off our class for today, will discuss the contributions of founding fathers of sociology to the course. Here we'll discuss four main founding fathers: Auguste Comte, Emil Durkheim, Karl Marx, and Max Weber. So these are the founding fathers we'll discuss today. We'll try to make our class interactive and participatory. So if you have any questions or comments at any point in time in the course of the class, please do not hesitate to indicate by raising up your digital hand. We'll see you, and then we'll allow you to talk and ask your question or make your comments. But we want to be sure that we are carrying everybody along and we are flowing together. As the HOD has said, please let's inform our members, our colleagues, our friends. The class has started. The sociology class for SOC 101 has commenced today. And there will be another class, SOC 101, on Thursday, 16th of January. So let's just know this ahead. So let's make a start. Sociology. What is sociology? I'll be sharing my screen. I'll be making some notes and comments as we progress so that we can follow the discussion to a reasonable extent, and then to make some clarifications, and then to ensure that we get the correct spelling of names and terminologies that we'll be discussing as we progress. What is sociology? There are various definitions of the subject sociology. Different definitions by different scholars, but when we look at the definitions, we'll see that they are all talking about essentially the same thing in different ways. So once you just get a basic idea of what sociology is about, then you'll be okay. One definition sees sociology as the study of social life. The study of social life, social change, and the social causes and consequences of human behavior. Study of social life, social change, and the social causes and consequences of human behavior. So the focus here now is on human behavior and social life, how the society changes, social change, social causes of events, and the consequences of events, how all of this affect or influence human behavior. Another definition by Britannica defines sociology as the social science that studies human societies. The social science that studies human societies, their interaction, and the processes that preserve and or change them. The social science that studies human societies. Again, we are talking of human societies, human beings, and human behavior. Social science that studies human societies, their interaction, and the processes that preserve and or change them. Another definition simply puts it as the study of human social relationships and institutions. The study of human social relationships and institutions. But a definition that we can adopt for our class today, a simple one, sees sociology as the scientific study of the society. The scientific study of the society, or the scientific study of human beings. The scientific study of human beings in social interaction. The scientific study of human beings in social interaction. So this gives us a good idea about the scope of sociology. From what we have said, we can say that sociology studies all aspects of human relationships, all aspects of human relationships, societies, institutions, and processes. Sociology is essentially concerned with groups of people, interaction among groups of people. And when we talk of group, that is anything from 2 persons or more. Sociology is concerned with what happens when 2 or more people come together in social interaction. So in this regard, we can say sociology is not concerned per se with individuals, a single person, but sociology will be concerned with the study of individuals in social relationships, social interaction. And the inference here is that when 2 or more people come together, the coming together of people oftentimes in various ways influences their behavior. We can just make a comparison between the behavior of one person, a single individual who stays in isolation, who lives alone. Each of us, for instance, when we are in our private rooms, when we are alone in our rooms, our behavior will be different from our behavior when there are other people around. We might have been doing something, but when we notice that other people are around, we adjust our behavior, we modify our behavior because of the presence of other people. That is the kind of thing that sociology as a course is interested in. How does the presence, how does the interaction with other people influence our behavior? So study of groups, for instance, in religious organizations, how people come together for worship, study of people in families, study of marriage institutions, study of people in work organizations, study of people in sports, recreation, educational institutions, and also deviance and crime. How people come together, how they associate, how they cooperate in the course of social interaction. These are areas that are of interest to sociology. The word sociology was coined for our academic purposes in 1838 by a famous French sociologist, the founding father of sociology, Auguste Comte. Sorry, by the way, I'm sharing my screen. Auguste Comte in 1838. But we also know that before the usage of the word sociology in 1838 by Auguste Comte, another scholar, a French essayist named Emmanuel Joseph Saïs, used the word sociology in 1780, but he used it in an unpublished manuscript. So because it was not published, it's often not credited with the origin of the name. But Auguste Comte used it in 1838, and that is the official recognition of the origin of the usage of the word sociology. Sociology is coined from two words. One Latin word and one Greek word. One Latin word and one Greek word. The Latin word is socius, which simply means companion or being with others. And the Greek word logia, which refers to the study. So combined together, so sociology is the study of human behavior, human interaction. Now, let's look at this definition we said we may adapt for our study class today. The scientific study of human beings in social interaction. So this can give us an idea about what sociology is all about. When we talk of scientific study, what do we mean? What we mean here is that sociology as a discipline adopts the methods of science in studying human beings in social interaction. Sociology is categorized under the group of social sciences. Social sciences as opposed to the physical sciences or the natural sciences. What we'll say here is that the social sciences have their peculiar methods which they use, which are in some respects different from the physical or the natural sciences. But in terms of precision, in terms of exactness, the social sciences cannot be as precise, cannot be as exact as the natural sciences, essentially because of differences in subject matter. The natural sciences, while they often deal with inanimate objects or non-human objects, which are not capable of changing on their own, the social sciences deal with human beings. And we know that human beings are capable of changing. So it is this capacity to change that limits the precision, the predictive precision of the social sciences. And sometimes I just like to give the simple illustration. If we were to go into a laboratory in chemistry to perform some experiments, we mix one chemical with another chemical in the laboratory. If we do it exactly the same way, the same quantity, and follow the same procedure, 100 times we'll get the same result. So we can predict, as they say, the formula for water is H2O. If you mix hydrogen with oxygen, then you get water. You do it 100 times the same way, you get the same result. That is the natural sciences, the physical sciences. But the social sciences, dealing with human beings, having human beings as their subject matter, we know human beings are capable of changing. If you ask somebody, if you conduct a study and you ask somebody about his or her opinion about something, for instance, if we want to predict the outcome of elections, and we ask people, which political party will you vote for in the next election? People may tell you they will vote for party A, party B, party C, or whatever party. That is their opinion. If a week later you ask the same persons which party they will vote for in the election, it is possible that their positions, their views may have changed. And the person who said he will vote for party A before may now say he or she will vote for party B. This is because human beings are capable of changing, and it is this capacity to change that limits the predictive precision of the social sciences, including sociology. The difference, as we said, is in the subject matter because we deal with human beings. But be that as it may, we still adopt the methods of the sciences. We adopt the scientific method. Now, when we talk of science, what do we mean in this regard so that we can use it to understand the methods that are used in sociology? What are the characteristics of science?
It's like observation.
Yes, okay, thank you. Okay, let's hear you.
It's just on those observation,
Observation.
hypotheses, and some others like that.
Okay, thank you. That's a good effort. So thank you. So one major characteristic of science is systematic pursuit of knowledge. So science is systematic. Systematic in that things are done in an organized manner, not haphazard manner. Predetermined procedures and processes are followed in such a way that one step follows another step. It is systematic. So also in the study of sociology, we have a systematic procedure to the acquisition of knowledge. Another characteristic of science is objectivity. As much as possible, we want to be objective in our study. By being objective, we can contrast this with subjectivity. Being objective encourages us to see things and to report things as they actually are. Not necessarily as we may want them to be. As they say in the popular parlance, it is calling a spade a spade. Sometimes in conducting studies, results may not conform with our wishes or expectation. The principle of objectivity will require us as scientists, social scientists, to be objective, reporting things as they are, not as we may want them to be. Science is also empirical. Science relies on empiricism. To a large extent, we rely on what is observable, reliance on direct observation of the world and events, not on hearsay or what other people say, but what we can see ourselves. So we conduct studies and we report the findings of our study. Science is also demonstrable in that whatever we see, we should be able to state our procedures in a way that other people can adopt the same methods and possibly be able to empirically verify our findings, conduct their own studies under the same settings, and be able to see whether our findings will remain valid. Science is also ethically neutral. Science is not about ethics or morality, but just the way things are in the world. So these are some of the main characteristics of science that we will discuss in the class. So these are the methods, procedures that sociology as a discipline follows to ensure that we collect reliable information, that the reports that we have, the outcome that we have are reliable, are credible for people to use. Now we may just ask a question: what are the uses of sociology? What is the essence of studying sociology? What do we benefit from studying sociology? Why study sociology? We will think of various uses of sociology, but a major one around which we can weave everything is that the study of sociology, the knowledge of sociology, can help us to better understand human behavior. It can help us to understand human beings and the society in which we live. At the University of Lagos, and as with several other universities, sociology is a broad-based subject, a subject that is studied by various programs and disciplines: law, engineering, science, medicine, mass comm, environmental sciences, and so on. And the main reason for this, one would say, is because all the disciplines, all the professions deal with human beings. They have human beings in interaction. So the knowledge of sociology would be useful for a human resource manager, for instance, who wants to manage the personnel under his or her control. The question could be, how do we get people to do the work that is expected of them? How do we get to encourage people to be productive, to do as much as they can? Why are some people more productive than some other people? This will be matters that will be of interest to sociology. And so this is a major reason, enhancing our understanding and knowledge of human beings, human behavior, and the society. Sometimes I also like to use the example in the medical sciences. The medical doctors may be treating a patient. Medical doctors may prescribe a medicine, a drug for a patient. But somehow, in some situations, the patient may just not use the medicine. The medicine is to help the patient, but for various reasons, and it will be puzzling to the doctors that we gave you this drug, but you have not used the drug. This is because they are dealing with human beings. It is a knowledge of sociology that can help us to understand such issues, why people may refuse to use drugs. The study of sociology of medicine, the study of human behavior may tell us about various groups of people. There are some people whose religious value prohibits them from using drugs. So if this is the situation, then the medical doctor may be in a dilemma about what could be going on. So a sociologist can be in a position to assist us to understand what is happening. Now, the question we'll ask again, how is sociology related to other disciplines? Other disciplines in the social sciences, such as psychology, for instance. Sociology and psychology deal with human beings. But while psychology may be said to deal with individual human beings, focusing on factors within the individual, such as individual personality, individual mental health, mental processes, and so on. Sociology deals with human beings in social interaction, not with one person per se, but what happens when two or more people come together in social interaction. While psychology may look at the influence of personality, individual personality on a person's behavior, sociology will look at the effects of group interaction, socialization, upbringing, and so on, the culture, the values of the society on individual behavior. Sociology looks at the impact of shared experiences on the individual behavior. So while sociology studies groups of people, psychology studies the individual. Another related discipline is anthropology. While anthropology may be said to study cultures and values, environment of human beings and their ancestors, people in the early societies, traditional or indigenous cultures and societies, sociology is interested in both the early societies and the modern societies. Sociology cuts across both, studies the past and uses that to also understand the present. Sociology studies both rural and urban societies, both traditional and modern societies, both simple and complex societies, not just about the early societies. Another related discipline is political science. Political science, in a simple sense, may be said to focus more on the study of political structures, political institutions, and processes, how people are governed. But sociology looks at this and even more. Sociology focuses on all social institutions, including political institutions, as well as other institutions such as the economy, the family, and so on. How all these social institutions interact and affect human behavior. Another discipline, economics, which studies economic issues, economic factors, factors of production, the production of goods and services, distribution and consumption of goods and services, issues about demand and supply and pricing of goods and services. Sociology studies these issues, but also goes into other issues. Sociology studies not only economic institutions, but other institutions and structures as well. Sociology studies how the economic institution affects relationships between members of the society, and also studies how social relationships affect economic relationships. For instance, economics may see human beings as rational beings, economic beings, rational, calculating, profit maximizing, wanting to buy at the cheapest cost and sell at the highest cost. That is economics. But we know that in some situations, our personal relationships with people may affect even the way businessmen and traders, the amount at which they sell their goods and services. When they are dealing with family members, friends, or relations, they may be they may be willing to sell at lower cost than they will sell to total strangers because of the social relationship between them. So that is where sociology comes in to explain human behavior, even in economic situations. Another discipline we may look at in terms of interaction with relationship with sociology is history. And history, we may simply say, studies the past of a people and society. But sociology studies both the past and the present. Not just the past, but the past and the present. So these are the intersections between sociology and the various other disciplines. Maybe I would like to pause at this point and ask us, what is our understanding of sociology as a discipline? What do sociologists study? How can we define or describe the subject sociology? You may just raise your digital hand and then we'll call you and you can unmute yourself and respond to the question. What do you understand to be the subject matter of sociology? Hello, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. Ayomide, Ayodele.
Yes, sir. According to following what you've been saying, sir, sociology is the scientific study of human behavior and um and interactions in the society.
Yes. The study of human beings in social interaction.
And it looks at the impact of behavior. That's all
Okay.
I can say for
Yes,
now, sir.
okay, thank you. That's a good effort. Thank you. The
Hello,
study
sir.
of human, yes, yes, hello.
Okay, sociology can be defined as the scientific study of human behavior and human interaction in the society.
The scientific study of human behavior and human interaction in the society. Okay, thank you very much for the response, both of you. So we know that you have a fair idea about sociology. So human beings in social interaction. Now let's go on to the third section of our class today, the historical context. How sociology as a discipline emerged. Here we'll be looking at the impact of two important events in the European society. The first one is the French Revolution, and the second one, the Industrial Revolution. The French Revolution, which started around 1789, and the Industrial Revolution in Europe, which occurred around 1760 and continued up to 1840. These two events and the political revolutions provided the background to the emergence of sociology. What happened during these events? The French Revolution in France resulted in dramatic changes in the French society. This was around the period of Enlightenment. People were getting more enlightened, more aware of their conditions, and people started asking questions from people in authority to question their behavior, to question what they were doing as political leaders. So people were no longer taking things as they were, but asking for explanations, for justifications for what was going on, and making demands of their leaders. At this period, there were remarkable changes within the family, also changes within the church at this time. Many things changed. The French Revolution, as well as the Industrial Revolution, led to what we may regard as social upheaval. The aristocrats lost, in the French society, lost their positions and their wealth, while peasants, people who were considered to be nobody in the society, rose up within the society to positions of prominence. So everything was just upturned. Similarly, the Industrial Revolution in Europe marked a period of change from agricultural production to industrial production. So with this, many people abandoned the farms in the rural areas and moved to the city in search of employment, in search of factory work. But this on its own also caused some problems. We can just equate this with the movement of people from the rural area to the urban area, as they say, in search of greener pastures. People in the rural areas see the people in the urban areas and think that they are doing very well. They must have a lot of money. So people want to emulate them. They abandon their farms and they go to the cities in search of job opportunities. But they get to the city and realize that the jobs are just not there. You don't just get the jobs so easily. So when people get to the city, leaving their comfort zones in the rural areas, they get to the city and they are homeless. Nowhere to sleep, nowhere to put their things, nowhere to lay their heads. That is the situation in the city. And that is why we have many slums and shanties in the urban areas. So the movement from the rural area to the city created many problems for people. People had to work very long hours to make their money, and they had to work under poor They had to work long hours under harsh conditions for relatively low pay. Many problems emerged. There was the problem of homelessness, people without homes. There was the problem of overcrowding. There was the problem of diseases. There was the problem of poverty and many other things. And it seemed that there was nobody to address all these issues, all these problems. So this was something that was of major concern to Auguste Comte at that time. So he was of the view that the social sciences that were in existence at that time were not adequate to explain the causes of the problems, and they were not adequate in finding solutions to the problems. So it was in the course of looking for solutions that he created the subject sociology, which he wanted to be a science that would unite all the sciences under one umbrella and help to address the problem of the society. In this regard, we will say Auguste Comte saw sociology as a subject that can help to improve human conditions in the society. Subject that will help to improve human conditions in the society. By the way, we say Auguste Comte, a French philosopher, mathematician, and sociologist, lived from 1798 to 1857. He conceived of sociology as an applied science, so that we can use the knowledge of sociology to solve social problems. So applied science as opposed to pure science, which is studied just for knowledge's sake, but applied science studied for the purpose of addressing human problems. So in this regard, Auguste Comte is also regarded to be a positivist scholar. A positivist scholar. In his study of the society, Auguste Comte recognized 3 stages of development. 3 stages of development. The first one he called the theological stage. The second one he called the metaphysical stage. The third one he called the scientific or the positivist stage. At the theological stage, he believed that religion was the dominant form of knowledge, source of knowledge. Religion dominated the theological stage, and religious leaders played a prominent role in at this stage of societal development. But the theological stage he recognized as the lowest stage in the development of the society. So, which suggests that religion limited the development of the society. As the society progresses, it moves from the theological stage to the metaphysical stage, where people understood the society as natural rather than supernatural. So the reliance on supernatural knowledge reduced, and people began to study and see the society as a natural world rather than being a supernatural world. But the final stage in of development, he said, is the scientific or the positivist stage. At this stage, the society is governed by reliable knowledge. This can also be described as a knowledge society. Science and knowledge predominates, and this, he believed, enhances development of the society. Auguste Comte believed that the society can be studied just like the natural sciences. And that's why he talked about adopting the methods of the natural sciences. Auguste Comte categorized sociology into 2 broad parts: what he called social statics and social dynamics. Social statics and social dynamics. Social statics deals with those factors or forces which hold the society together. The forces that enhance stability, durability, and sustainability in the society, persistence of the society. So there are some forces that he recognized which help to ensure that the society remains the way it is. On the other hand, there are also forces which push for changes in the society. This he refers to as the social dynamics. So through a study of the two, we can understand the society, how some aspects of the society remain over time, and how some aspects of the society change over time. So these were of interest to Auguste Comte in the study of sociology. With this, we can move on to another founding father of sociology, that is Émile Durkheim, another French sociologist who lived between 1858 and 1917. Émile Durkheim, a French sociologist, considered to be a structural functionalist. By this, we mean that Émile Durkheim saw the society as comprising structures or component parts that functioned together, with each part performing its own function for the sustenance, for the continuity of the social system. So he saw the society as a system of component parts which are functionally related. So for him, for the society to continue to function, all the units must continue to perform their various roles. It is the organization of these roles that ensures the continuity of the society. We can look at the society in this regard just as we can examine a motor vehicle. A motor vehicle which comprises various component parts, or a human being, the human body, which comprises various component parts, the arms, the legs, the mouth, the eyes, the ears, the nose, the head, and so on. But that each of the component parts must continue to perform its function. If there is a defect in one part, then it affects other parts. So the inference here is that as human beings, we are all interrelated and we all depend on one another, such that if somebody does not perform his or her own function, then it will have a negative impact on the society. If a person's arm is cut, then obviously that will affect the functioning of the individual. The same thing with a motor vehicle, the ignition key, the tires, the brake system, the fuel tank, and all the pedals and so on. All of them must be functional for the vehicle to operate effectively. Émile Durkheim in this regard also talked about division of labor, that the various component parts and human beings in the society operate in a kind of system of division of labor, and that it is this division of labor that unites people together. Division of labor ensures that individuals are not self-sufficient. When there is division of labor, one person produces one part of the final product, which is joined to the production of other members of the working group. So with this realization that no person can survive alone, this enhances solidarity among people in the society. Émile Durkheim identified two types of societies. The first type of society, he said, is characterized by mechanical solidarity. The society that is characterized by mechanical solidarity. Mechanical solidarity often applies to simple societies, as we may find in rural communities or villages, small societies with small population. In such societies, in the simple societies, people interact often on a face-to-face basis. It's a small group of people, and invariably they all see themselves every day. Every morning they wake up, they see themselves because they live together in the small community, and they going to the farm, going to the river to fish, whatever, they meet and interact with one another. So the interaction is face to face. Such societies can be said to be homogeneous. Homogeneous in that it is the same, essentially members of the same ethnic group or cultural group that live in the society. If you can imagine what happens in many of our villages, it is the same set of people who are related by ethnic background and blood and so on that live together. So it is easier for them to cooperate. So that is what Emil Durkheim meant by mechanical solidarity. The solidarity, the unity, the cooperation among them is almost mechanical. It is expected. The second type of society, he said, is characterized by organic solidarity. And this can be typified with the urban area, the urban societies. We can think of places like Lagos, Ibadan, Port Harcourt, Abuja, and various other places. Usually, such societies have relatively large populations. With large populations, it is impossible for people to interact on a face-to-face basis. With large populations, there is a high level of anonymity. People may not know everybody else. If you go to the village and you ask for somebody in the village, anybody you see is likely to be able to take you to the person's house. Oh, this is the person you are looking for, follow me. And they'll take you to the house. But you can imagine in a place like Lagos, you ask about somebody, you mention somebody's name on the street, people are likely to say, no, I don't know the person, because the population is very large. In such situations, there is a high level of anonymity. It is possible for people to hide under the cloak of anonymity. In the rural communities characterized by mechanical solidarity, the simple nature of the society helps to maintain law and order. Because if anybody commits an offense, other people in the community will know almost immediately. But in the urban area, because of the high level of anonymity, people can hide under that to commit crime, to commit havoc, because they know people may not know them. So, according to Emil Durkheim, in such societies, something is required more than mechanical solidarity. So that's the reason for the emergence of organic solidarity. This leads to the emergence of laws to regulate the behavior of people. So it is laws that regulate the behavior of people in the urban areas. You cannot rely on their individual wishes or sentiments to be law-abiding, but that is why you have police officers to regulate people's behavior and apprehend people who misbehave. The urban areas are heterogeneous societies. Heterogeneous in the sense that they have people from diverse backgrounds, diverse cultural backgrounds. In a place like Lagos, we can imagine we have Hausas, we have Igbos, we have Yorubas, we have Efik, we have Ibibio, and we have people even from outside Nigeria who live within the city. So different values, different orientations, and therefore the need for law and enforcement in such situations. When people come together in social interaction, Emil Durkheim was of the view that the conflicts in laws, conflicts in norms and culture may lead to a breakdown of the social system. Sometimes people not knowing how to behave in some situations. So he described a situation of breakdown of law and order in the society as anomie, A-N-O-M-I-E, as we have on the screen, shared screen, or what he also called normlessness, a situation of breakdown of the social system, a situation of total disregard of rules. The disregard of rules could result from situations of despair, of frustration. When people are frustrated, when people are disillusioned about what is going on, when people have a sense of worthlessness, that what they are doing does not matter, it does not contribute anything. They are frustrated in everything, and then they disregard the rules. So when they disregard the rules, anomie results, according to Emil Durkheim. We can equate the situation of anomie with what happened during the period of EndSARS, or during the period of End Bad Governance, when there was the massive social protests, disregard of rules and laws, and people behaving in various ways as they like. Another scholar that will be interested in looking at his work is Karl Marx, also one of the founding fathers of sociology. Karl Marx, a German philosopher who lived between 1818 and 1883, 1818 to 1883. Karl Marx also made significant contributions to the study of sociology. He had an evolutionary view of the society. According to Karl Marx, the society, there are 6 stages of development. 6 stages of development, starting with the lowest level of development, the primitive communism. Primitive communism we can equate with the earliest possible type of society in which people lived together and everything was done communally. Everything was owned by the members of the society, and people had whatever they wanted from within the environment. Stage 1, primitive communism. The second stage is slavery. The third stage is feudalism. The fourth stage is capitalism. The fifth stage is socialism. And the sixth stage is communism. Communism, according to Karl Marx, is the ultimate stage, the final stage in the development of society, human society. At this stage of development, Karl Marx was of the view that resources of the society can be distributed among the people according to their need. So it is a situation of complete satisfaction of the needs of people. He described it as a situation of from each according to his capacity. People produced whatever they could produce according to their capacity, but they got whatever they wanted as much as they wanted from the society. Karl Marx saw the society as being divided into two categories of people. Two classes of people were recognized by Karl Marx in the society. The proletariat, that is the poor people, the working class, and the second category, the bourgeoisie, which comprises the rich people, the owners of the factors of production, the capitalists. These are the two classes of people that were recognized by Karl Marx. And according to Karl Marx, these two categories of people, these two classes of people are always in conflict because their interests are different. The interests of the poor people, the proletariat, their interest is different from the interest of the bourgeoisie, the rich people. The rich always wanting to exploit the poor people, to give them as little as they can give and to make them work as hard as they can work. And the poor people also trying to free themselves from the shackles of the rich people. So they are always in conflict. That is Karl Marx's ideas about social stratification and the categorization of people in the society. The fourth founding father that we'll discuss is Max Weber. Max Weber, a German sociologist who lived from 1864 to 1920. 1864 to 1920. Max Weber, unlike people like Auguste Comte, who believe that sociology should help in solving social problems, human problems, Max Weber was of the view that sociology should be a value-free science. Value-free science, value-free in the sense that he also believed that our personal values should not interfere with our study. Value-free sociology, the personal values should not interfere with the study of sociology. We should downplay the influence of our personal values in our study. Max Weber recognized three types of authority structure, trying to explain the organization of the society and who has power and authority in the society. He identified three types of authority structures. The first one is the traditional authority. Traditional authority. This is the type of authority that predominates in the early societies, rural communities, and also operates in the family. Traditional authority system is one in which authority is held based on tradition, how things have always been done, based on specified factors. So, for instance, under the traditional authority system, authority is often based on age, a situation in which the oldest person is said to have more power, more authority than younger people. So, in many traditional societies, the oldest person is said to be the head of the community. And it is the oldest person who decides on things. We can see that a similar thing operates within the family. Usually, the oldest members of the society have more power, have priority over younger people. When it comes to the sharing of resources, usually the oldest person is asked to take something first before all the others can take. Traditional authority, apart from age, also uses gender for the conferment of authority. So in many traditional societies, society being patriarchal, a situation in which a situation that is characterized by male dominance. So there's the tendency to see the male as having more authority. More authority is given to the male than to the female. So in many families, when questions are asked, who is the head of the family? It is common that fingers will be pointed to the father within the family. This is based on traditional authority. Traditional authority is usually transferable, so that when the oldest person dies, the next person in age takes over authority within the group. That is the traditional authority system. The second type of authority system is the charismatic authority. Charismatic authority is one in which authority derives from the personal qualities of individuals. Charismatic authority, such as people who have oratory powers, religious leaders, prophets, and people like that. So authority in this situation is often personal. Unlike traditional authority, which is transferable, charismatic authority is not transferable. So usually charismatic authority cannot be inherited by offsprings or other people that are related to the charismatic leader. And we may look at the society, we may identify people who we may refer to as being charismatic. Their personal qualities gives them authority, people recognize them, and people respect them for what they are. The third type of authority is the legal rational authority. This is the highest level of authority, and this is the one that is closer to the scientific type of authority. Authority in this situation is legal. In other words, it is legitimate. It is based on law, based on established law. And authority is also conferred on a rational basis such as competence, capacity to perform, capacity to deliver, qualification, and so on. So the person who has the highest qualification, the person who is considered to be most competent, will be given the authority to lead under the legal rational authority system. Typical illustrations of this will be what happens in work organizations, so that the most competent person, the most qualified person will be appointed. Sorry, my network tripped, but we are back. So we're about finishing. So that's the legal rational authority. This is considered by Max Weber to be the most efficient system of authority. It is considered to be superior to the traditional and the charismatic authority structures. So I think with this, we'll bring our class today to an end. I'll be willing to respond to questions that you may have on what we have said, but we have given an introduction to the discipline of sociology, looking at definitions of sociology, what sociology does as a course of study, the relationship between sociology and other social science subjects, the background to the emergence of sociology as a subject, and then the contribution of founding fathers of sociology to the discipline of sociology. Let's remember to register our names in the chat section on the Zoom platform. Just write your name so that we can know that you are here today for the class. Write your name in the chat section so we can know you are here. This is the way we can register our presence. For the remaining part of the period, we'll use for questions and answers. If you have any questions, then please feel free to ask questions so that we can respond to them. And as the head of department said at the beginning of the class, this course will be taken by various members of academic staff and professors in the department. So we'll be interacting with another person later on Thursday, as we said, and then the course will continue to roll on in that order. I will share some materials with us later in the course of the semester, which can assist us, which can serve as reading materials for what we have done today and some of the other things that we'll be doing in the course of the semester. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask your questions. I hope we have tried to go on a gentle basis today so that you can follow the class as we are moving. Various terminologies and concepts that we have used, but they are fairly easy to understand. So if there are no questions, I would like to say good evening to you all. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Have a good evening, everybody.
Sorry, sir. Sorry, I'm trying to talk.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Good evening,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you. Have a good evening,
Thank you, sir. Thank
everybody.
you, sir.
Okay, have a good evening. Yes.